Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your buddy Uncle Bruce. How are you today? Welcome to the channel Stock Markets with Bruce, where we try to explain what's happening in the stock markets in plain English, and we also talk to you about how you can make a ton of money by writing stock options against your shares that you are already sitting on. Why in God's green earth have you got stock just sitting in your account? You're not making money off it by writing options. It defies logic. Welcome one, welcome all. Look, it's 8:30 Eastern time right now, and I'm looking for information regarding the GDP numbers, the gross domestic product numbers, and we see that the GDP went negative last. I think it was last month. I'm just keeping an eye here on the headlines as they're coming through. Business fixed investment declined 3.9% on an annual pace in the second quarter. Consumer spending rises and inflation adjusted 1% in the second quarter. We also noted that Best Buy stock is dropping because the retailer lowered guidance. US GDP shrinks at 0.9% on an annual basis in the second quarter. This is below forecasts. In other words, the US economy is doing worse in the second quarter than they thought it was. They were who we thought they were, is the old expression. Yeah, so the market is only off 57 points on the Dow. I'm waiting to see what the reaction of the Dow Jones Industrial will actually be. I note that the 10-year Treasury note, the U.S. 10-year, which is a very sensitive indicator of economic activity, it is the yield is dropping. The yield was as high today as for a moment at 2.8%. Then it was sitting at 2.78%. Then it was sitting at 2.781%. Now it's at 2.76% and falling, which means that nervous investors are putting money into the U.S. Treasury notes to park their cash, and by doing so, that lowers the interest rate that they earn because the bond price is rising, which means the yield is dropping. This is a negative sign. This is, you would think, oh, lower rates, this is great. Yeah, it's not. German 10-year is plummeting. It was sitting at 9.52, 9.62. It's now 9.25. The German 10-year is dropping dramatically. As a matter of fact, this morning it was at 1%. Now it's at 0.92%. It's really backing off on this U.S. data. The Italian interest rate has dropped from 3.4 to 3.3%, now 3.29. Spain's rates are dropping. The UK's are dropping. This is the reaction of the international markets with the U.S. economic numbers. In plain English, it's not good. Basically, that's what that means. It's not a good thing. All right. The Dow is still only off 63 points. It's a miracle. It should be off 363 points. Maybe it'll do it in the next 15 minutes when it wakes up. I don't know. There are investors out there who are playing the bizarro Jerry world game where they do the opposite. They're doing the George Costanza, basically. They're doing the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be getting out of equities and going into bonds to park money in a safe place because the U.S. economy is shrinking. And what we don't know is by how much. We do know it shrank in the second quarter on an annualized basis about a percentage point. But we also know that in the first quarter, the GDP was up over 2%. So it went from a plus 2% to a minus 1% in the quarter. And we're now 1 month into the next quarter. This is the end of July coming up, folks. So in theory, we could be going negative 2% to negative 2.5% right now in this quarter. And those of you who are out there in the real world, not the bizarro world, the real world, have you gone to your grocery store lately? Have you anyone been to a Denny's lately? Anyone gone to a your local pizza place, your favorite local restaurant? Have you have you noticed at the corner store a couple of things have gone up in price? Like Have you noticed everything is higher and it's not just 7 or 8 or 9% like they say it is? Yeah, we're noticing that big time. And in the real world, we see what's really happening, and it's really ugly. Like the real world is really ugly right now. The thing you should watch for, the next thing you should watch for is about 2, 3 months ago, we were talking here on the air about how many, like wherever you went in your neighborhood, in your town, your city, you saw help wanted signs everywhere. I'm curious to find out in the next month or so how many fewer help wanted signs are going to be out there. How many fewer help wanted signs are going to be up, still up, where businesses now cut back because they have to cut costs. They can't raise prices on you by 20% every month. They can't do it. They're getting nailed, increased prices, but they're also noticing they're not selling as much stuff. And so they're not ordering as much stuff. And if they're not ordering as much stuff and not selling as much physical stuff, they don't need as many physical people around. And so all of a sudden they're not short-staffed anymore. They needed 15 employees 2 months ago at a local whatever store, and right now they need 3, and in next month they don't need anybody. And maybe in 6 months, 4 months, 6 months, they start to look around and go, we got 3 people too many in this store. We gotta let people go now. That's the inevitable next stage. It's going to happen. Okay, I don't want to sugarcoat this. Okay, the economy is going to shrink, and it's going to be ugly, and there will be casualties. And it might be part-time student employment. It might be university student employment, college kids. It might be low-level employees. It might be mid-level employees. It might be entire divisions of certain entities where they're going to basically say, we're letting 500 people go in our company, and it's this division here because we're going to walk away from it. Or we've sold this part of our company to another company, and that company is going to let half of those people go because of redundancy and so on. We are shrinking. It's inevitable. We're shrinking. And the Fed will not stop their policy to raise rates to try to kill inflation. The problem with it is that the Fed can't kill inflation because Americans didn't create it. And they think they can kill inflation by slowing down the economy. The problem is you can't slow down the economy without crushing people during it. And now the question is, how much do you crush people to get to your objectives? And yeah, the very rich and the very wealthy will be just fine. But their employees and their lower level folks, they won't be just fine. And so it's going to be a mess. And it's not a USA problem. It's not a Canada problem. It is a worldwide problem. It is a huge worldwide problem. And it's getting yuckier out there. And yet, look at that. The Doubting Philosopher gives me a thumbs up, and I have 50 of them already. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for this support, guys. I'm really appreciate your help. And we'll see what's going on. How many shares do you have to hold in SoFi to be eligible to vote on the reverse split? I inquired with my broker. I never got a reply. 1 share, Kiwi. If you own 1 share or more, you have a vote. You got 300 shares, you get 300 votes. You got 800 shares, you get 800 votes. So just one. Your broker obviously doesn't know what they're doing, or views you as such a nuisance client that they just don't want your business. Maybe that's what it is. I can't help you there. Amy is saying daughter works at a restaurant. They are still very busy, but customers are telling the servers they can't afford to tip due to the price increases, which messed up my IMO. Tom, SoFi, the consensus EPS estimate for the quarter has been revised 2% higher over the last 30 days to the current level. Michael, what's messed up is restaurants not paying a living wage and workers having to live off of tips. Help me 100. Amy, $2 goes a long way. Tom, this is essentially a reflection of how the covering analysts have collectively reassessed their initial estimates over this period and or have lowered the bar. Alberto, good morning, Bagel Familia. Right, and make money. Zane of Austin, Michael, good old capitalism. Olivia, Michael gets it. Odin's Pumpkin, the SoFi vote is gone and passed, I am pretty sure. Yeah, I think it's already been done. I have 8,000 shares and they won't reply. There you go. And Lame Duck, they already voted on SoFi. I think they have, and I think your broker doesn't know that. Your broker doesn't realize that. It's possible that your broker received documentation for the vote, didn't pass it on to you. That is not an uncommon thing where brokerage firms hold stock on behalf of other clients, and then these shareholder votes and proxies come in. They're supposed to pass it on to you, or they should have asked you when you opened your account whether you want to receive these items. And it's possible that maybe you indicated when you opened your account that you didn't want to be bothered with all this documentation and stuff, and that's maybe why you didn't get asked to vote your shares. Perhaps your broker voted them on your behalf. I don't know. And they don't want to talk to you about it. Sucks to invest in foreign markets then, says not my sofa. Kiwi, yes, I inquired 6 weeks ago. Lame Duck, it passed. Sell my house. Good morning. I'm number 62. Amy, Mike, true, but that is the system. Can't afford to tip. Stay home. Duncan, good morning. Alberta, ready to make this dollar. Michael, Amy, I agree. Odin's Pumpkin, check your email. You may have missed it. That is how I received those notifications. Check your junk mail. Might be in there. Lame Duck, now up to the board of directors to decide if they're going to do a reverse split or not. If so, how much? I have Fidelity. If that helps, says Odin's Pumpkin. There you are. Thank you all for popping in here. Watching, all of this info. The U.S. dollar is down a little bit right now against foreign currencies because of this latest info. The U.S. economy contracted 0.9% in the second quarter. And again, U.S. first-time unemployment claims declined 5,000 in the last week. We'll see what's going on. The Dow now is down 119. It's finally making a move into reality. The S&P is down 17.5, and the Nasdaq is down 100. But these aren't big moves. These are not big negative moves. They're just preliminaries. Oil up 171 to 98.97. Oil should be down $5 a barrel right now. In reality, oil should be plummeting right now, because if it is evident that the U.S. economy is slowing down and is retracting, oil consumption in America will back off, even if it's 0.5%, 1% less. The futures in oil are way overvalued. We're headed for 65 a barrel. I believe this. There are analysts who've been saying, based on what we think is going on in the next 6 months, oil is going to 65. There are some analysts saying 45, because once you reach the 65 level, you're going to have oil flooding a market that doesn't want it, that doesn't need as much oil. And you're going to have desperate producers desperately trying to sell oil at any price because they are up to here in debt from their bankers. And the debt costs are rising with higher interest rates. And so you got a double whammy. You've got a shrinking market for demand, shrinking prices for the shrinking demand, and you've got higher costs to be in business. There is no company in America, Canada, anywhere that isn't paying more for something. They're paying more for staff, paying more for materials, office supplies, rents are going up, taxes are probably rising. There's all kinds of charges against corporations everywhere that are just lifting the cost of being in business, which means they have to raise their prices. But in the oil and gas business, you don't set the price. The futures market sets the price for your product, and you are at the mercy of the futures market. And I expect crude to take a royal dump, and that'll bring gasoline prices at the pump to certain areas of the U.S. down to $1.50, $2, $2.50, and then of course there's inevitably California and Hawaii and Alaska where they'll pay the highest prices, like it's always been and always will be. But a majority of America will be under $3 a gallon, could be by the end of the year, the way this is drifting and shifting. And there will be layoffs in the oil patch. There will be layoffs in Oklahoma, in the Dakotas, Texas, wherever oil is the big player. There will be layoffs, and there'll be layoffs in the spin-off industries that help and supply the oil and gas business with what they need to produce. Um, it's going to spread like a disease. It's going to be like a virus. It's going to be a contagion, and it's going to spread everywhere. And for option writers, 169 of you are here right now, and I would bet you 150 of you are option writers, or you want to become option writer. A field day. You're going to have a field day. You're going to have a great year. You guys are going to make a ton of money. You couldn't ask for a better scenario to be an option writer. I am telling you again and again, it is so good to be an option writer right now, because you are writing into any strength you can find, and you are going to buy options back for a fraction of what you're selling them for. And you're going to make some money off of your account. And it's about bloody time, because so many of you have been led down the garden path by brokerage firms, investment houses, analysts out there, maybe other YouTubers. A bunch of you are subscribing to a bunch of these economic newsletters and prediction entities that will tell you the hot stock you should buy. And we guarantee you 2 hot stocks every month you should buy. You know who they are. I don't have to name these guys. There are people out there paying money to be given stock tips to try to make money in the market. And they're doing it. They're paying it, and they're getting hosed and screwed and crushed because they find out about the stock 3/4 into its up move. There's only a quarter of move left. They find out 90% of the way up. Oh, this is a hot stock. Well, there's a reason it's a hot stock. It's gone up 90% already, and it's now a hot stock. And now it's your turn to buy it from everybody who bought it way back 25, 50% ago. You're taking out the winners who bought last month. You're the last guy to the party. In other words, we're playing musical chairs here, and you're just joining the show, and you're walking around in the dock, and they flip the lights on, and there's 50 people walking around 20 chairs. Yeah, you're one of 30 that didn't get the chair. This is what's going on. And here I am on this puny little channel with now 181 people watching, telling you guys you couldn't have asked for a better market to make money in than the market we have right now. If you are going to write options against stock you own, or shares you should own, or options you're buying on stocks you like, you can write options on options, poor man covered calls, and you can leverage up your income into your account. And I'm talking about writing conservative options against stock where you're writing out of the money contracts that have 2, 3, 4 weeks left to live, and you're going to be paid nicely on the shrinkage of the value of the contract as its time for life expires, because every contract out there has an expiry date, and you are looking for 2-week, 1-week, 3-week contracts. That's all the time they have left to live, and you are here to grab a nice little chunk of cash here and there. Am I offering you the opportunity to make $1 million on a trade? No, never going to happen. You're going to make what some people say, he's offering him. He's telling him to make nickels and dimes. He's telling him to make nickels and dimes. Well, if you can write a contract for $1.65 and you can buy it back for 40 cents, you know what that is, in my opinion? That's a 75% profit. That is 3/4 of your dough. In other words, you can bring in $165 by selling a contract for $1.65, and you pay $40 to buy it back. Even with commissions, you're going to clear, 120 some odd dollars. That's on one contract. And you might do that once a week, once every 10 days, once every couple of days. But if you could write 5 or 10 of these, it's the same trade. It's just with a 1-0 instead of a 1 as to quantity. You want to write 10 Apple contracts and score $1.20 a contract in a week or two, 10 times, that's $1,200. You want to write 30 of them, that's $3,600 in profits. Sure, stocks can go up and stocks can go down, stocks can stay flat, and they can do all three all in a week, all in a day. They can do all of that. Option writing requires you to pay attention to your investments. But if you're writing out of the money options, conservatively out of the money options, you're taking away a lot of the minute to minute risk that you would have if you were writing in the money contracts or at the money contract. Now, there's a number of viewers here who love to write at the money contracts. There's a number here who love to write in the money contracts and dare the option buyer to exercise them and take them out because they take the book value and the premium in their account right now and say, I got the money. You want my stock? Come and get me. Well, the contract might have 3 days, 6 days, 12 days to live. And a lot can happen in the stock market in 3, 12, 6, whatever it is. And if a stock dips after you've written a call against it and it's an in the money contract, it will plummet in value dramatically, giving you the ultimate decision anytime you want during market hours. Do I want to buy these back? I wrote these for $11. They're trading at $7. If the stock drops another couple of bucks, they're going to be $5.50. In 3 or 4 days from now, they're probably going to be $4.50 because time is running out and all that time premium is evaporating away. So what do? Do I make a profit where I buy back at $7? I score a $4 gain. Am I happy buying back at $6 and I scored a $5 gain, or am I happy taking the chance to buy at $5 and make a $6 gain? Now you have positive choices rather than negative choices. Rather than I'm going to lose 40%, 60%, or 80%. I'm making 40, 60, or 80%. How patient am I, and how committed am I to this position? I can close it at any time I want and lock in my gain. Say, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I have another. I'm going to write another call for the next 2 weeks out of the money conservatively, and let's make some more money. Kids, you want to make some money in this market, you got to put some time into this business. And you're looking at a kid here who's 66 now, and I've been involved in the market since I was 21-ish. As a stockbroker and a desk trader, and I was a branch manager, vice president of a brokerage firm. I was a partner in a brokerage firm. I eventually was involved with a buddy of mine, took a company public as a president of a publicly traded company. I've been on every side of the market over the years, through my 20s and 30s and 40s, offshore finance guy in the Cayman Islands. I've been everywhere, and doing this has been the most satisfying thing I've ever done. To tell you about what I know through all the years of experience I have, the options game has been around the entire time I've been in the business. What I'm talking to you about, writing options, has been in existence before I started in the business in 1979. That's how long. It's just that in the last year or two, everything has changed because of this little invention right here and the software that is now available that this thing can get into. It's unbelievable how you can trade your entire portfolio now with this. This didn't exist 20 years ago when I was in the business. This didn't exist in 79. Here it is. You can go wherever you want in the planet as long as you have internet access, and you can monitor your account, and you can trade your account, and you can trade stock options and write them. And so there are no excuses that, I can't reach my broker in a convenient way anymore. No. That excuse died in the 90s, the 2000s. This thing about this telephone here gives you instant access anytime you want to make your moves, and you can pre-set your orders in advance. In other words, you can write your call today and then put in your buy order to buy it back. You can enter it right now and just have it out there. And if you're driving to Starbucks and you're standing in line waiting for your coffee to be made, you can look at your account and go, the stock that I wrote the option on has gone down 3% in price. And I already bought back my call option while I was parking the car over there to come into this Starbucks store. And I wrote 10 of these HPQ options or 10 GameStop options, and I made 80 cents a piece, which is $80 times 10 contracts. I made $800 driving from my house to Starbucks. Didn't even know it. But my order got filled. And, I guess I'm going to have to write my next set of contracts. That happens. It's been happening on this channel with these people here. These are members of the channel, and a lot of them are option writers, if not all of them are option writers now. And we're making money out here. Anyway, 199 of you are here. Thank you for joining me and being here. Thank you for those of you who have been kind enough to throw a thumbs ups our way without me begging you for it. We have 92 thumbs ups already in the house. If you're able to write a thumbs up for us, please do, and help the show get a little more momentum. That would be tremendous. I see GameStop at $33.53 right now. It's down 25 cents in the pre-market. We've got, I think it's 34 minutes to go until we open. I see the Dow Jones down 1 point. Just kind of wondering to myself, what's wrong with these morons? Why are investors buying up stock on a day when the U.S. economy announced that it has shrunk for a second quarter in a row? What do you think is going to make the market better tomorrow? Now, I will agree with this analogy here, and I've said it before. Stock markets don't trade on what's happening today. Stock markets trade on what's happening tomorrow. And the Dow Jones and the S&P and the NASDAQ indexes will indicate to us in a general way what the investors think the economy is going to look like 6 months to a year from now. And there are people out there who are actually naive enough to think that in 6 months, everything's going to be a lot better than it is now. And I don't know where they're getting this from. I don't know how people can think this. It's a fantasy world, and we're all allowed to have our fantasies. You know, it's all healthy. You know, it's all great. But the next 6 months, we're going to get some really ugly numbers from some segments of the economy that is not going to be pretty at all. And you're going to have to think in 6 months, what's the market going to think 6 months from now and a year from now after that? They can't possibly be looking at a higher market. There is no way this stock market is going back to where it came from 6-8 months ago. We were at, 37,000 on the Dow. We're at 32,000 now. We're not going back to 37,000. We'll be lucky to hang around 32,000. I think 28,000 might be a neighborhood, another 10% on the Dow. Sorry to say, I don't know if I want to burst any bubbles out there, but I don't see anything good happening in the big picture, because we have not yet bottomed out on this economy. If anyone says that the bottom is in, they're in dreamland, completely in dreamland. We're up 196 on crude at 99.22. We're $35 overpriced there, minimum. The S&P is at 4,029. NASDAQ is even up right now at 12,600. These markets are way overpriced. This morning, we saw earnings report come out on Royal Caribbean. I was reading that just during the Gold Bagel member Trader Alert show that I do before this show. If you're a Gold Bagel member, you can join us for those. Breaking news came out about Royal Caribbean. They lost another boatload of money. I think another $2 billion. These guys are burning cash left, right, center. Now their revenues went up from last year from nothing to a couple of $1 billion. Sure. They're sailing with passengers. Yeah, sure. They've lifted all their COVID protocols. The CDC has let them loose. The cruise lines can do whatever they want. This is freedom in America. You can do whatever you want in your cruise ship business. You don't have to demand testing anymore. You don't have to make people wear masks anymore. You don't have to make them show you proof of vaccination anymore. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want, the CDC is saying. There are people out there. I have another YouTube channel called Traveling with Bruce, and it is centered around cruising. There are viewers on that channel who are letting me know in plain English that they're not particularly happy about the loosey-goosey environment that is about to hit the cruise business. And I suspect there are going to be a lot of people canceling their cruises in the next 3 to 6 months. Because if we see this latest variant thing, this pandemic variant problem we got going on, we see that growing out, and it's growing out, people are not going to want to be cooped up on a 5,000 passenger cruise ship for one full week, not knowing How many of their fellow passengers didn't even bother to get vaccinated because there's a conspiracy theory against them or something? You want to be hanging out on a holiday with people that haven't been vaccinated at all on a tight compound, tight compressed area on a cruise ship? No thanks, man. I'm not interested. If they don't have to wear masks and they don't have to be tested, you have no idea. You get on a ship with 5,000 passengers, 2,000 crew members, 7,000 people. You don't know who's been infected. The other thing you don't know is this: 3 cruises ago, before you got on the ship, there were 5,000 people. 2 cruises ago, there were 5,000 people. Last cruise, there were 5,000 people. Now on the cruise you're on, 5,000 people. You know what that means? It means that the 2,000 crew members that are on the ship all the time been exposed now to 20,000 people in a tight area on board a cruise ship for the last month. And now you are hanging out with 2,000 crew members for a whole week. And they're your waiters, they're the bus boys, they're your room cleaning staff, the folks cleaning the hallways, the crew of the ship. All 2,000 of these folks are intermingling with you wherever you are, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And you got to ask yourself, these folks have been exposed to 20,000 people in the last 30 days. What are the odds that a whole bunch of those crew members are ill with the virus, not showing any symptoms, have the virus, don't know it, got the virus and are about to become really sick? Or how many of the crew members have already been sick and have been restricted to their cabins, and the cruise ship isn't telling you about it? You have no idea that down below are 50 people in their rooms, sicker than dogs from the virus. They don't have to report it anymore. They don't have to tell the CDC. They don't have to tell you. They don't have to tell me. And now we go on the ship for a week, and those folks are down there sick below us, just a couple of decks away. And the other 1,950 crew members have been exposed to 20,000 passengers. How many of us in a week or two when we get home are going to feel not so well all of a sudden? And we don't know where you got it from. Well, I know where we got it from. Unbelievable. That's what's going on right now. That's how loosey-goosey everything is becoming. And we are setting ourselves up for one serious kick in the rear end. And it's going to throw everything up in the air again. It just blows my mind. It just absolutely blows my mind. More and more corporations are demanding that their employees come back to the office. That's happening, especially, employers where the top guys don't believe in the virus, don't believe it. They think it's a conspiracy theory. They want you back in that cubicle. Good luck with that. I'm hoping that, none of you on this channel are in any way confronted with this awful decision to either work in the office or leave your job. But I'm certain that there are a lot of people out there who are really up against it right now and have to decide what they're going to do. I don't know, guys. We've got a lot of uncertainty out there from that front. What we can tell you about certainties, inflation is much higher than 8 or 9%. Go to your local grocery store, corner store, favorite clothing shop. Go to your local shopping center, walk around and check out the new prices in town. Those aren't 8 or 9% higher. No. They're a lot higher than that. We all know this. Everything out there is costing us more. Every time we go to the grocery store, the checkout total is unfathomable. We can't believe it. We can't believe how much. What do you have to pay this week? I can tell you, your boss, it's unlikely your employer is going to come to you before you go to them and say, hey, listen, yeah, I know it's tough out there, and we really appreciate you coming back to the office, and I'm glad that you're back at the cubicle. And listen, I know your grocery bill has gone way up, and you've got 2 kids, and you've had trouble getting baby formula, and the cost of diapers are higher, and your car insurance is going up, and car prices are really higher, and I know that your insurance rates are going higher. How about a 15% raise to help get you over the tough times? How many of you got a boss like that? Do they talk to you this close? I mean, do they come up to you like this and want to talk to you? Uh, I don't think any of you are getting bosses like that. I think you guys have to scratch and claw to get 5%, 6%, 7%. It's ugly. It's going to be bad. There are going to be strikes all over the planet coming up, especially with strong unionized worker representation. There are going to be mega strikes all over the place, all through the summer and definitely into Christmas. The certain employers do not care if employees go on strike in the summertime, but they care if they're going on strike in November, in October or December. They care then. And get ready for a wave of worker discontent because it is the workers. The worker still has control over the economy because the unemployment is low. But I worry about that easing up a little bit, and I'm worried about employers trying to take advantage of panicked employees that are worried about losing their jobs to hold them to 2 or 3 or 4% raises and watch their employees lose another 10% to inflation. It's ridiculous. We'll watch for that. It's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. Certain parts of the economy are reporting good numbers, and so it's defying logic in a way. Like Hilton Hotels was just announcing the record numbers. They're doing just great. Yeah, they did all right. They might have a good quarter, maybe 2 good quarters. But eventually, even that's going to end up because if you haven't noticed, go on to Expedia.com or any of your booking sites and try to find a hotel deal. And you know how you search for a hotel and show me by price, show me the cheapest hotel you can get me in wherever I want to go. And you're noticing now that the cheapest hotels aren't 30 and 35 and 40 bucks anymore. There aren't any of these 2-digit rates coming up as much anymore. They're now 3 digits, 100 and up a night. And now you're noticing 200 up a night in many cases. And have you heard the latest one? As if Las Vegas casinos haven't pissed off enough gamblers already with those resort fees that they charge. You know, they say to you, $39.99 at our hotel is all. It's only $39.99 to spend a night in our hotel. Oh, and the $35 resort fee or the $45 resort fee. Now they want to offer you the opportunity to reserve a lounge chair by the pool, upwards of $200 to reserve a chair beside the pool. Now, if you want to jump in the pool and swim, there's no charge for that. You've already got it in the resort fee. Enjoy your pool. But if you want to sit down on a lounger beside the pool, that could run you up to $200 per day while you're here. Are you having a good time? How's it going? The nickel and diming and the gouging is only just beginning because the resort hotels in anywhere, I don't want to pick on Vegas, but boy, these guys are the worst. They are the absolute worst at this. Vegas has gone completely the opposite of what it used to be. It used to be a pretty cheap place to go, and the tipping used to be great. We used to tip all the time for all this service and all these great things. But now that tip money that we used to hand out to the doorman and to the guy or girl that got us a taxi and to our dealers and to our people who gave us a drink and to our waiters, all that tip money, the hotels have figured out through their corporate masters, which are New York listed publicly traded companies. These guys have figured out, oh, no. We're not going to do it. We're not going to play the game where all these employees get tip money. Oh, no. We're going to charge our clients all this money for all the services we used to give them for nothing. And they won't tip anybody. They'll hardly tip anybody, but that's all right. We get the money. We, the corporation, gets the money. And our employees are unionized, and so screw these guys. So we'll just pay them the unionized rates and treat them like crap. They will, they're not going to have loyalty to the property because we don't have loyalty to them. We want the money from the gamblers up front before they get to the floor. And we're going to nickel and dime them on everything we can get our hands on. Even in the middle of the winter, we're going to charge them a resort fee for the pool that's closed outside. We're going to even nail them for that because we're providing them free telephone service from their room. Do you use the hotel phone to call somebody in Las Vegas when you're in Vegas? Who are you calling? Don't you have one of these? What do you need a phone in your hotel room for? Yeah, they are screwing their clients every way they can by showing off a $59 a night rate. And by the time you walk out the door, you're paying $159 with taxes, resort fees, and all the bump ups. Nothing upsets travelers and gamblers more. I'm not going back to Vegas. I have no interest in going back to Las Vegas. What have you got for me that you used to have for me? You got nothing for me now. Nothing. Now, maybe I'm an old man and, he's just a rambling old guy. If he were 37, he wouldn't be talking that way. Really? What do you think it would run you to go to Vegas for a weekend and catch a football game at their stadium? 3 nights accommodation, 2 tickets to the football game. How much do you think you'd have to drop for that? Have any of you recently, by the way, tried to price out what it would cost you to go to Los Angeles, spend 3 nights at a Disneyland hotel, and view go to Disneyland and California Adventure, whatever it's called, for a 3-day pass or a 4-day pass? Say you, your wife, and a couple of kids. Have any of you out there tried to do that? Just try to price it out. I invite you, your buddy Uncle Bruce. I am inviting you to go on out there and find out for yourself how much would it cost you to get a 4-day pass, either at Disneyland or Disney World, staying at a Disney property, flying in and out of there, maybe renting a car or not. Let me know what it would cost for a family of 4 to spend 3 or 4 nights at one of these parks, and get back to me. I'd be curious to find out how cheap it is. I really like to know that, because a lot of Americans and Canadians and others dream about the idea of taking those kids when they are like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're in that magical window to get them to the happiest place on earth for a 3-4 day visitation. Just tell me how much it costs you now to do that little vacay. Yeah, things have changed. Well, anyway, we're I don't think we're into good times for the next 6 months to a year. I think we're into the fallout of inflation, interest rate rises, supply chain delivery problems, and the deniers who did not get vaccinated, who are now allowed to be among us again in many more ways than before. And I think we are really going to get it. Like, we're really going to get it now on multiple fronts. And I think deep down, many of us know it, and we dread it. And we're trying to, sort of isolate. Some of us are upfront about it. We're not going back to the office. We really are not interested in going to certain venues in our towns or cities during certain hours because there's too many people there. We're subconsciously trying to just be careful about it. I wonder how this is going to go. Anyway, there it is. What can I say? It's going to be rough, and the Dow at the moment is down 42 points. That's it. That's all it's down. 42 points. We don't have a bloodbath here on these markets. We're opening up in 15 minutes. We're down 4.7 on S&P, and Nasdaq is off 46 points. So we got crude is up 140. Barron's, the market could fall some more. These stocks are the most vulnerable. No kidding, Sherlock. I'm curious about tonight when Apple releases their results. Same with Amazon. I heard earlier today that I believe it was a Verizon. They had tried a promotion to get people to come on in and get a free phone, Apple phone, get an upgraded phone from what you have. Like, bring in your Apple 11, and move up to an Apple 13, and we'll give you the best, the higher end model with all the bells and whistles, more memory, more everything. And the deal would have been that we would have taken back your old phone, given you a credit against the new phone, and we would assign you up to a new plan. The problem was, and the problem seems to be, that the new phone that they're trying to get you to sign up to, the new plan, I should say, not the phone, the new plan they're trying to get you up to is a higher cost per month plan than the one you've got now. And the program didn't work. The promotion didn't work to convince people to move up into brand new phones, higher end phones. The reason is that people were looking at their budgets, how much they're earning and versus what they're spending, and they didn't want to take on a higher commitment per month for their own telephones. They wanted the cheaper plan. And the only way you're going to get a cheaper plan is to either keep the phone you got and downgrade your plan, or move into an older model telephone, maybe an Apple 11 or 12, and try to keep your plan where it is or go lower. The problem for Verizon, of course, is their costs are rising left, right, and center, and they're trying to get more income in from every person they've got, and they're probably losing clients because people are walking away from the second phone. There are probably households that are trying to cut down their expenses, and they're going to drop. When a plan expires, they're going to drop that plan entirely and cut back on the number of devices. It was a disaster. It didn't work. And our friends at Apple are going to announce tonight their sales. And it is widely expected that Apple is going to admit that they're not selling as many phones as they wanted to sell, or as were expected, that they were expected to sell. There may also be another revelation, and that is that the outlook for the third quarter and fourth quarter will be lower than what was previously expected back in the first, second quarter, what the third, fourth quarter would be. So we're about to find out just how ugly it's going to be. The only good news for Apple, which is kind of funny, was that they had the shutdown, the Shanghai shutdown back in June, part of July, but May and June basically, where their factory was almost stopped and they didn't produce phones. And so in effect, Apple didn't get stuck with gazillions of telephones all over their stores around the world. Not as many as thought, with a slowing economy, because they weren't coming in the first place. And so there was this illusion. There was an illusion of a shortage of telephones. And the illusion was to try to convince the consumer, you better come in right now and get your hands on a phone, because the way it's going, soon phones will be back ordered and you won't be able to get your phone. That didn't work either. Americans are savvy consumers. That's the one thing you have to give Americans credit for. They are the world's greatest consumers, and they're also, generally speaking, the most wise when it comes to being consumers, because they're used to it. They're used to being consumers. Americans can catch the drift that when prices are too good to be true, something's up. And either you're selling me a product that is being discontinued, you're selling me a product that was popular last year and has lost its panache this year. You're trying to reduce inventory. And if I need the item, I'll buy it on a sale. But if I don't need it, I'm not going to just buy it just because it's on sale. No. It's got to work for me. And if I notice as a consumer that friends of mine are only being offered 5% raises when they should be getting 8 to 10% raises, or they're hearing that certain firms have a hiring freeze in effect, they're getting wind that things are slowing up here and there. Little pieces of evidence are dropping into their lap about a slowdown in the economic side and the hiring side. They back off and they go, wait a minute, I'm not taking on new debt. Not going to get a new car and pay $200 a month more for it than the old car. I'm not going to also get new insurance. That's going to cost me $80 a month more than the old car, because you got to add that to the cost of the car. I don't want to pay new licensing fees for a new car versus the old car. I'm not driving as much because I'm not paying $6 a gallon for 25 gallons a week like I used to. I'll buy 20 gallons a week. I'll buy 15 gallons. I'll drive less because I'm not spending more on this. They are savvy. They know what they're doing. And Apple tonight is going to give us a hint from their angle just how it's going. And this is the one of the most successful companies on the planet. We're going to find out just what's going on. Tonight, Amazon announces their earnings, and I am really curious to see what's going to happen there. That could be really ugly. The number of packages going through the system, cost of freight, cost of labor. Amazon already a year plus ago, you may have forgotten this, but a year or two ago, Amazon already began to announce and brag about the fact that they were raising pay amongst their associates and that they were offering more benefits to their workers, even their part-time workers. They were offering more to convince them to come in and work for them because they were desperately short of people, desperately short. And so they were offering all kinds of incentives to get people to come in. This year, coming up for Christmas, it'll be interesting to see if Amazon needs to do that anymore. Will they have 1 million people seeking a 6-week, 10-week job, and they only have 450,000 openings? This is going to be telling in the not too distant future. And tonight we find out how Amazon did in the second quarter so that we can gauge the third and the fourth quarter going forward. It'll be most interesting to follow. All right. We are now 8 minutes away from the opening. We're getting close to starting it up. And I want to thank you all for popping in here and seeing us. It's great to have a whole bunch of you following us and joining us. Those of you who are members of this channel, I thank you so much for your loyalty to this channel and helping us stay on the air by being members. Those of you who are subscribers and lurkers, thank you for being here and being part of the overall family. Would love to have you join us as members if that's at all possible. If you become a Gold Bagel member, you get to join me every show before this show. You get to join me in the morning for trade alerts for Gold Bagel members only. And you get to join me Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock, prime time with Uncle Bruce. Once a week, ask me whatever you want about your account and your investments, your option strategies, and what's going on. We had a good show again last night. The thing that really makes me happy is that I notice overnight and the next morning how many Gold Bagel members come in to watch the rerun. They can't make it live 8 o'clock on Wednesday night for whatever reason, but they kick in and they watch the rerun of the telecast overnight and then the next morning. And it's pretty cool to see how the numbers just keep climbing on how many views that video generates. It's pretty good. And I thank you all for your support and your kind words. Jen and I thank you. We have 253 people watching right now as the market is getting close to opening up. The number usually runs. We have 150 thumbs ups in the house already. If any of you out there are able to throw us a thumbs up before the opening, I would so appreciate it. We try to get over 200 thumbs ups every show in the morning, perhaps even 250. We thank you for these thumbs ups. They just make such a difference on the analytics computers at YouTube. They get a sense of the interaction between host and viewer, and the more thumbs ups we get versus how many are watching, the more YouTube pushes the channel to others. And if we can get more folks to understand how the markets work in plain English and how options writing is a ticket you can use to negate a sloppy market that will likely be sloppy for at least another year, the better. If we can get more folks to write options contracts, the better, because you guys have a chance. You retail investors, this is who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to hedge funds. I'm not talking to the mutual fund. They don't watch me. What do they want to watch me for? I have retail investors, small retail investors, people with less than $5 million. Less than $1 million means you're small. If you're less than 100,000, you're very small. If you're less than 10,000, you're incredibly small. If you're less than $1,000, I'm not sure what you're doing here, but okay, you're here, and it's all good to learn up and figure out what's going on and how it works. But there are a number of you out there who have figured out by hanging out with this crowd, with me and these guys here, you figured out that man, if you got your hands on 20, 30, $40,000 of assets, you can arrange your assets in such a way that you can write a number of call options every month and go a long way towards adding some nice cash flow to your income level every month. And I know that it has become very obvious here in the last year and a half. There are a number of you who had no idea. You had no idea that you could literally make more money writing stock options on your existing account that you've been sitting on for 20 years than you can working full time. You didn't know this. You had no idea that in 2002, you could have already been self-employed as an option writer. And the reason you didn't know is no one told you. And no one was going to tell you. There would be no broker calling you to say, hey, listen, I noticed that you've got these shares and these ETFs and what have you. Did you know that you could write call options on this stuff out of the money, conservative call option rights, and make approximately this much money every month on your investment? No one called you, and no one was going to call you ever. There have been people in the last 20, 30 years who had enough assets in their control that never knew they could have written contracts. They have died of old age. They've passed on, and their accounts were liquidated, and the dollars divvied up to the inheritors. And now the inheritors have these assets in chunks of these assets, and they don't know that they can literally take that money, put it to work, and now write call options against it. And could have been, since mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever passed away, whenever they did pass away, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they could have, for all those years till right now, already been writing calls and bringing in this cash. There are so many of my viewers right over here who admit it. They tell me, I wish I knew you 10 years ago. I wish I knew this 15 years ago. I had no idea that I could legally do this in the open market. I had no idea. I didn't even know where options came from. I didn't know that options, to be able to trade options, for options to trade, someone had to create them. I didn't know I could create options. I thought the banks did that. I thought the pension funds did that. I thought hedge funds did. I didn't know I could do that. I'm just a shareholder of 100 shares of Apple, or 500 shares of this company, or 300 of that company, or 1,000 shares of that company. I've been an employee of my company for 15, 20 years. I've accumulated 5,000 shares of stock in the company I work for, and it's a publicly traded company. And there's options out there on these stocks. I had no idea that if I made a few arrangements with my existing portfolios, get some tax advice from my tax advisor, I could start writing options against my existing assets, and I could pay down my mortgage faster than I've been paying it off. Or I could pay off that car loan, the 2 credit cards that I'm carrying, help my kid out with the student loan. I could be doing a lot of stuff right now rather than 10 years from now when I'm expected to retire. So many of you are out there going, I'm going to retire in 5 years. I have no idea how we're going to get by. We're not going to get enough pension income to make the living work, because now in the last year and a half, with these prices going up, my retirement plan has been blown out of the water. I need either to sell stuff, downgrade my lifestyle, or I got to find additional income. And I can't at age 60, whatever, or 50, whatever, do that. I can't get more income. And now I find this guy, this homeless Canadian guy who's in a hotel, talking on YouTube about writing stock options. I had no idea. Welcome to the new world, kids, because it's changing under your feet, whether you like it or not, and you better get with the program or you're going to be left behind. Sorry, but that's what's happening. Thank you, Larry Titus, for ringing the bells. We're open for another day of mayhem and fun till Daddy takes the T-Bird away. It's great to have you here, folks. I hope I haven't scared any of you away from the markets or from life itself, but I just want to be upfront with you from where I sit at age 66, looking out over this entire world. There's a lot of crap happening right now, and we just hit 88 miles an hour the other day, and you're going to see some serious, you know what, and that's what's going on right now, and it's happening everywhere. And if you don't believe it, good luck to you. Good luck to you. If you don't believe that there's all kinds of crap going on, well, then okay, live in your bizarro world and enjoy yourself. But don't come crying to me when it isn't working out anymore. What can I say? I'm just trying to be upfront with you in plain English as to what the hell is going on out there. Why is the Dow Jones up 83 points right now? That's my first question. It's 83 points higher. Now it's 90. Why? Why is the Dow up 90 points? It was up yesterday quite nicely. Why is it up another 90 now? I don't see corporate America coming out with record earnings. I don't see corporate America saying, oh, our numbers in the third and fourth quarter are going to be fantastic. I don't see that. I see the opposite. Maybe I've got the wrong colored glasses on. Maybe I should put on rose-colored glasses and join these people. But I don't get it. These markets are higher. Tesla's up $22.96. It's at $847. Did they increase their prices by 10% and their advanced orders doubled again? I don't think so. Kind of wondering just what are people eating and drinking out there? I don't quite get it. GameStop is up 58 cents to 34.36. It would appear. There we are. And we've got SoFi at 653 up 9. We've got SmartRent up 9 to 515. Matterport up 2 cents to 413. Google is up 24 cents to 113.84. We have Spire up 4 cents to 149. Apple is up 15 cents. We got AMC up 60 to 1508, which just blows my mind. ATIP up on half a penny. A Rocket Lab is up 16 cents. We've got Cyxtera up 12 and ME unchanged. Pfizer today down $1.54, now down $1.70 on Pfizer, 49.85. Anybody out there who's written options on Pfizer has got to be going, wow, look at this. The stock is backing off, and all those contracts we wrote are just plummeting in value. We might have to put in some stink bids and buy them back. Oh, wow. Look at the Pfizer down 179 to 49.76. Holy moly macaroni. HPQ up 50 cents to 33.12. Cisco up 54 to 45.18. Twitter down a penny. HD Home Depot down 267. They're figuring it out over there. The investors of Home Depot have figured it out. They're importers of goods, and their numbers are backing off at the cash register. I think that's what's happening over there. Carvana up 86 cents. Robinhood up 20. Vanek Vectors down 74 cents to 231. IBM off 20 cents. Microsoft up 241 again today. Up again. Just blows my mind. Goldman up 159. US Steel up 52 cents. Meta to Facebook stock down $10.33 to 159. This has been a crazy rock and roll party. Let me tell you that this has been the wildest of roller coaster rides. A week ago, last week on Facebook, Meta, we were trading on July the 22nd at 174.76. Then we dropped all the way down to 158 on the 26th. Yesterday, we were trading at 170 again, and now we're at 159. We are talking up, and straight down. Meta Platforms announced for the first time in its company's history, Facebook announced their revenues dropped. Their actual top line revenues were lower last quarter. That's the first time in its history that Facebook brought in less gross money. That's never happened before. This stock, 159, is down $10. It's being downgraded all morning by everybody. It is really backed off. Keep in mind that Facebook a year ago, 52 weeks at one time in the last year, hit 384. Keep in mind something else. At 169, we're less than half of that price. The market cap right now is $431 billion. Facebook had a $1 trillion market cap last year. That was the height of Facebook, $1 trillion market cap. Now it's at 430 billion and plummeting. This shows you how high PE multiple companies can get shellacked. This one, they say it's trading at 12.84. I don't think so. With the latest financials being factored in, we're probably closer to 20. It's not good. Amazon is down 40 cents right now. Its PE multiple today, 58.7. The stock has no business being here. And if their numbers are falling, if their volumes are falling, shipments are falling, that means their margins are backing off. Inflation is eating them alive in a million different items all over the place. This stock could drop dramatically. It could absolutely drop dramatically. We're going to have to watch this. 34 cents this morning. This is a joke. We'll find out tonight. It's still showing a market cap of 1.22 billion, but it's trading at 58 times earnings. It should be 1/4 of this at best for PE multiple, which means the stock should be $30 a share, which means its market cap would be $400 billion like Facebook. Isn't that interesting how those numbers come together? Gotta wonder. Royal Caribbean in fantasy land, the stock is up 324 at 38.15. And these guys are losing billions. It's unbelievable. Carnival at 9.30 up 44 cents a share. Carnival had to raise $1 billion by selling stock from the treasury again. Yikes. Waiting for Royal Caribbean to announce the same thing. Target up 192, JP Morgan up 52 cents, Costco up 292, Walmart up 72, Nvidia up 274, Disney is up, what was that? 16 cents to 103.66. American Airlines down a nickel, Netflix down $1, Moderna down 37 cents. So there it is. We've got the Dow up 61 points, now up 54. Google off 37 cents. Matterport down a penny. SmartRent up 8. Tesla up 21 to 846. SoFi at 650 up 6. And GameStop up 31 cents to 34.09. The high of the day on GameStop so far, 34.43. The low of 33.21. And that was the first trade of the morning. We'll find out and see if this stock backs off. Something tells me it will. GameStop volume right now, 8 minutes into the market, 264,000 shares. Divide that by 4. That's 60-odd thousand shares in total volume compared to where, with that pre-split number, we're very quiet, very, very quiet. SoFi 648 up 4, volume of 1.2 million. So far, very quiet opening in volume terms. So it's backing up, giving up the gains. Tesla is only up $18. It got up to $849.90. It's now $843. We've backed up $6 quickly. The Dow now just up 49 points. We've got other indexes here. S&P up 8, and NASDAQ is up just 6 points. NASDAQ today is not outperforming the market like it did yesterday. So there's the difference right there. Oil down 153 right now as we are running at 98.80. We've backed up about $1 on the oil market. Market is still way overpriced, way, way overpriced. All righty, there you have it. Welcome to the opening market right now. I think this is a dead cat bounce, and it's going to get ugly sooner or later, and we're going to see what's going on. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What else is going on? Coyote, I have not heard a single shred of positive outlook news in months. Is this shorts buying back in? So another dead cat bounce, bull trap bounce? It could well be. It's a low volume rally right now. I mean, these markets aren't going up on heavy volume. They're going up on moderate volume. We can see the moderate volume on a bunch of the stocks that we're following. We just don't have everybody buying. We have a select number of people popping in here. I just don't feel it's going to last. I just went negative on GameStop right now. We're down a penny, I think. Yeah, 33.78. We just 33.77. We just went negative on GameStop. We're up only 3 on SoFi, and Tesla now is still up only 18. It's up, but $18 instead of 24. The Dow up 26 points. It's coming back. Nasdaq is red, down 4.6 points. So we are turning just a little bit right now, and I think that we've got the initial little is over. Options nomads, Pfizer, woohoo! Cheers! Yes, option writers on Pfizer have got to be happy. 49.75 down $1.80 on Pfizer. This stock was $52 just in the pre-market yesterday. Anyone who's written 52s, 51s, 50s, 49s, you got to be smiling right now. These contracts are falling off. All contracts dying tomorrow are really backing off, and contracts for next week and the week after, we've got pullbacks here. Opportunities to do buybacks on calls are just screaming at Pfizer shareholders. 49.66, 49.6, still dropping. It is still dropping. Stink bids might need to be inserted on Pfizer calls to score some nice profits and gains. Wow. Coyote, Uncle Bruce, maybe it's one of those, we're not wrong, we're just early situations. I felt that back in December last year. No one wanted to mention the market sliding. I felt like I was a lunatic for noticing. Yeah, it's the old thing about the markets. By the way, Pfizer's off almost $2 now, 49.56 down 199. It's the old game that happens in Wall Street. They never tell you to sell. They never tell you when to sell your stock. You always get the buy. Always pick up. Or buy and hold is another one. Buy and hold your position. Don't ever sell your stock. Just buy and hold your position. Most interesting games being played by the analysts. They never tell you to sell. Pfizer right now down 208, 49.47 on Pfizer. So obviously something negatory coming out on earnings here. This is an opportunity for, again, Pfizer option writers to sit back, put in stink buy bids on their contracts, and really score some nice gains. And then if there's a partial recovery, right again. 213 drop on the Pfizer. It's still dropping. DQ, Agodi, it's the same thing, Michael. It's the same thing. Bill, the market literally doesn't know what to do. The TQQQs and SQQQs down at the same time. Deep value investing, Facebook Meta change could have been the reason, or at least contributed heavily to those earnings. Welcome to the clown market, says Coyote. Nazareth, the official song of the clown market. Yakety sax. Alberto, GameStop, $36 at 110, expiring in 8 days. I wouldn't be writing 36. That's not enough premium. They're too far out. I might maybe a little closer than that, because 8 days you can be closer in. GameStop 33.80 up to maybe look at writing 35.50s, 35s. Bring in some premium money. Bring in more than this. Keep an eye on it, but 36 might be too far out. Spire up to Apple down 142 now to 155.37. ATIP down 1.5, ME down 3.5, Google down 29 cents, Twitter down 184, Amazon down 184, pardon me, Meta down 13.94. We're getting hit there. Right now, Pfizer 49.29 down 2.26, which of course the lower Pfizer goes, 49, 48, 47, wants to go there, picking up $35 to $38 call options deep in the money for next year expiry might be a good move for those of you out there thinking of writing poor man covered calls on Pfizer. There might be opportunities there. Get those calls as the stock bottoms out, and then wait for a little bounce back and start writing calls against those calls you just bought. Enjoy yourself. 49.37 down 218 on Pfizer. We're down 30 on the Dow Jones. I believe the Pfizer is part of the Dow Jones. We are negative now on the Dow. We're negative on S&P. We're negative on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is off 75 points, 0.63. The Bizarro trading opening is over. The dead cat bounce is in. And here we go with some resistance and some selling. We are due for a sell-off here to realign reality with these stocks, I think. Anyway, let's see. Coyote says, I'm part of several tech forums from working in the industry. I saw several people I used to work with mention layoffs in their field recently. Coyote, first comes hiring slowdowns, then comes the layoffs. Tiff, man, I could write such a sweet new cover call on HPQ now if my stink bid would not have been 3 cents too stinky yesterday. Coyote, if they do tell you to sell, it's because they already closed their position. Laughing out loud. Alberta, thanks, Uncle. Alex, Tiff, I was just thinking the same thing. It's plummeting now. GameStop now 33.51 down 27 cents. Pfizer down 193. The Dow down 54. Matterport down 10. Smart Rent only up 4. Tesla only up 9.50. SoFi now negative 12 cents. We're going red. GameStop down 35 to 33.43. We're going lower. Spire 145 unchanged. Apple down 166. AMC only up 27. ATIP now down 1.5. Rocket Lab only up a penny. Cyxtera up a nickel. ME down 7.5. Google down 83. HPQ is backing up. It's now sitting on 26-cent gain. Cisco up only 31 cents. Twitter's red. Home Depot down 340. Carvana red. Robinhood red. Vanek Vectors down 271. IBM up only 12. Microsoft negative 66 cents. We were at 271.46. We're now 268.15 on Microsoft. We have turned red quickly here. Goldman up $1. Meta down 14.50. Amazon down 229. What else is happening here? Nvidia down 66. Disney down 69. American Airlines down 22. Netflix down 5.60. Moderna down $3. Micron down 51. Intel down 50. Boeing down 74. And more. We're falling into the red everywhere. We're down 105 on the Dow now. Pfizer down 218. And GameStop down 32 to 33.41, down 31 cents or so. Watching GameStop as it drifts lower with the rest of the market. All right. Bad news for borrowers. The terminal rate, the peak of the Fed interest rate cycle may still be quite far off. I think so. Mike, I wrote SoFi 7s for next Friday, yesterday for 23 cents. I have a stink bid to buy him back at 11 cents. Easy $1,300 profit if it hits in less than a day because of how many he's writing. Way to go, Michael. Amazing. Well, it's off 12 cents now, so it's definitely coming your way, and time is shrinking now. So bull trap bounce is in. Then Splair, a dead cat while I relax in a coffee shop in the Netherlands. Great for me. DQ, Michael, nice. I wrote the 6.5s for the same day, pulled in 40 cents. Alberto, nice work, Michael. Not my SoFi. Yay. DQ, nice. Coyote calls on burn ointment. And Splair, good luck, by the way, to all of you out there. Alberto, DQ, mic drop. Coyote, Splair, I read this wrong and thought you were at a cafe in the Netherlands that had a random dead cat in it. Kiwi Yahoo says Tesla has been higher than 834, but I sold a few minutes ago for 843. How can that be? Well, you did all right. It topped 849 was the top. We're now 833 and dropping. So Kiwi, way to go, man. Way to go. Tesla now up 880 at 833. SoFi 629 down 15. And GameStop 33.41 down 37 cents. The low of the day on GameStop 33.21, and that was just a few moments ago. We are definitely heading lower. 33.50. It looks like we're going lower. 629 on SoFi, and the Dow off 78 at the moment. Right here, S&P down 14, Nasdaq down 84. Nasdaq's down 0.7 of a percentage point. S&P down a third of a point, 0.36. The Dow 0.22. It still has catching up to do. Merck Salesforce Inc. are contributing to the Dow's drop. And we'll see how this plays out. We're down 80 right now on the Dow Jones. Okay. Michael is saying to DQ, I was going to go to write the 650s too, but was scared with earnings next week. H. Gregory, what was W that AMC spike earlier? What was that AMC spike earlier? DQ Coyote, I was Googling what kind of coffee drink is a dead cat. What was that question about? It was on AMC. AMC is now 1477. It got up to 1529 today. It was up like 50 cents higher. It was up almost 80 cents, but now it's backed off. It's up 29, still dropping at 1477, 5.7 million volume. Not good volume on AMC. That's not going to support this price. You can't go higher with this little volume, I think. There's so many out there. ATIP down 1.5 cents. We've got Pfizer now down 219, down 224 to 49.32. The low of the day 49.18, and so Pfizer has definitely taken a shot lower. This last a couple of days ago, just on the 26th, that was 2 days ago. We were 52.60, 52.65 roughly. We're now 49.34. A big drop on Pfizer. So all those contracts that some people I know write, they're doing just fine on their contracts. Those contracts are giving up the ghost, and it's an opportunity to lock in some profits. Well done. Look for a little rally and right again. What can I say? H. Greggy shot up like a point, then back down. Rosy Posey, time to write on Google maybe. Yeah, maybe. Apple, time to write on Apple as well. Time to write on Amazon. Yes. Time to write on Microsoft. It's time to write. Do not be afraid of the upside. Kiwi, my cat doesn't drink coffee. He likes a saucer of tea and milk and sugar. DQ, Michael, I hear you. I'm being aggressive to get out of margin debt, and I don't own nearly as much SoFi as you do. Who cares says, I'm number 185. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the 185th thumbs up. Who cares? DQ, all good. Good luck, sir. Says Michael, DQ, if there's a wrong play to make, I'll make it. And Michael is laughing. Way to go, everybody. Writing options to make money. 49.35 down 220 on Pfizer. The Dow down 135 and falling. We have got more selling coming into this market right now. Let's see what else we got going here. Hang on. Let me get there and let me get over there. The Dow down 165. We're down 24 in S&P. 101 on the NASDAQ. We are negative. Oil still up 142. It hasn't dropped yet, but it will. It will. We're down 0.91 on the NASDAQ, down 0.62 of a percentage point on S&P, and 0.5% on the Dow. The Dow is falling and catching up to these other markets. Nick, I'm number 187. Thank you, Nick. DQ, good morning, Nick. DQ and morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Tesla's only up $1.60 now. It is falling off fast. It got up to 850 and is now 826 and falling. Tesla is backing off. We'll see how this does. SoFi down 20 cents to 624. Pfizer down 240 now at 49.12. New lows are coming in on Pfizer. GameStop 33.08. We're down 70 cents. We just had a breakdown on GameStop. We are definitely snapping any kind of support in this 33.25, 33.50 range. We are down to 33.08. This is a new low for the day, I believe. 33.03 is the new low, and we just hit it. And so here we are on your GameStop, people. Your contracts are dropping again, and there are a ton of you with options expiring tomorrow. Perfect. I'm happy to sit on SoFi for a couple of years. Mike says, yep, definitely. I will hang in there with him too. SoFi, 624, down 20. GameStop, 33.04, pushing the 33.03 low of the day around. We hit it, 32.86. We've annihilated $33. 32.86 on GameStop, down 92 cents. A new low for the day. GameStop selling is coming in. Volume of 587,000. That's less than 150,000 pre-split. Very quiet, and the support level is not there right now. 32.86. The Dow down 150. And they're selling coming in all over the place. We're seeing way more red signals than green signals all of a sudden. It just started all green, and it's now turning red everywhere. Apple is off $1.50. ATIP down 1.5. We've got ME down 9. Google down $1.06. We got Cisco up just 18. HPQ up 11. Home Depot down 4.16, dropping again. Robinhood is red. Vanik Vector's down 2.25. IBM down 1/4. Microsoft was higher nicely at 271.40. Then it took a dump. It's right now up 21 cents to 268. The low already 267. We might be going lower on Microsoft. I'm sure we will. What else is going on? Goldman's up only 8 cents. Facebook down 13.30. Meta. Amazon down 186. They're reporting tonight. JP Morgan up 51. Nvidia's down a nickel. We got more red popping up here, especially on the NASDAQ side. We got red popping up all over the place. 201 drop on Pfizer. The Dow 157 lower. Matterport off 17. SmartRent up 4. Tesla's up 6. SoFi up down 18. And GameStop 33.01.02 at the moment, with a low of, it looks like 32.86, 32.94 right now. Another wave of selling is coming in on GameStop. 32.94 with the low of the day of 32.86. We're dropping on GameStop. All right, let's see what is going on here. Elon Musk says he's going to deal with the shorters. How is he going to do that? DQ, Pfizer dragging Moderna down. Keep going, both of you. Got Moderna 155s expiring tomorrow, says DQ. Moderna 155s. Let's see, where are you at on this thing? 153.55 down 447. Yeah, baby, you're out of the money, and they're dropping. So get ready. You may pull the trigger at any time, and the score on that deal, sit tight, little recovery, right again. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Recovering money from Moderna. Well done. Well done. 49.76 on Pfizer, down 178. What a day. 130 on the Dow now. We're negative 130. Barron says that Royal Caribbean believes that they're going to return to profitability next quarter. I don't think so. I don't think so. They can try to predict it because of the advanced bookings, right on. And if they have enough advanced bookings, maybe they can book it in. But I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Not my SoFi. Yay! Now my covered calls are out of the money. JJ, Tesla short. Nick, Uncle Bruce, I had written 40 contracts September 16. Let's see, hang on. 16 September. I wrote 16. No, I've written 40. September 16th, 2022, 41.25 strikes for $4.98. They're currently trading at 193 to 235. Lock in with a stink or wait. Okay, so he's written 40 GameStop calls. That's what this means. He's written 40 calls on GameStop. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And he wrote them for September 22nd expiry. They are $41.25 strike. The stock is $32.97. He got $4.98 for him. Of course, when he wrote them, these were $20 contracts 4 times, right? So he wrote 10 that have turned into 40. They're now trading at 193 to 235. What should he do? There's the question. He's now sitting at a 193 bid on a 498 sell. So he's ahead $3.05 a contract. Is $305 times 40, 12 G's right now. What should he do? Well, he knows, and I know, that if the shares drop further today, and they could, these could go lower. He knows that. He also knows, like we should know, that every day that goes by, these calls have less value, but they do have until September the 16th. So what could Nick consider doing? Nick could go into the options chain and take a look at contracts that are expiring sooner than September the 12th. Maybe he might look at um, August contracts, maybe expiring around August the 20th to 25th, somewhere in that neighborhood, a month in time. And he could consider buying back his 4125s and turning around and writing new calls that might be 37s or 36s, closer to the money, closer to time, and maybe he can get more than $1.93 for those contracts. That might be the strategy here. I'm going to take a peek at contracts, even though my option quotes are behind a little bit. I'm going to see if I can find how contracts are doing for maybe August. Here we go. I see August dates showing up right now. Let's go to the third Friday of August. That would be August 19th. And let's see if he can get, what can he get for contracts that he writes? Look at this. If he's going to try to get about $2 a contract to, in effect, he buys back his contracts now for around $1.95, $2. Can he sell new contracts for around $2 something or more? What would he have to write? And I'm looking at August, these are 35s. These would be August the 19th, the third Friday. He wrote, if he writes 35s, he might be able to get like 235, 238 for those. Those are 203 to 240 bid ask. The 35 and a quarters are 193 to 230. He might get 225, 227 for those. The 3550s are 183 to 222. He might offer those at 221 or even 220, maybe get filled at that level. He'd still bring in more cash if you buy back his existing contracts. 195 maybe. He's got to get those. Writing 3575s, he might be able to offer those at around 211, 212. Even the 36s, he might be able to write those at 205 if he can buy back his existing calls for 195. He'd bring in a little extra cash. But the number one thing he'd do is he'd bring in the time frame. Instead of playing with September 22nd expiries, he's now August 18th, 19th expiry, 16th expiry, way closer in time. That might be the game. Now, if he does write lower expiry prices, he'll bring in more cash than he's paying. So that would bring in more money, which is okay too. If you can bring in 30 cents a contract more times 40, that's $1,200 more cash today in his account and shorter time frame. So Nick, there's a couple of ideas for you. Check your option chain and see what you're comfortable working on. You might want to put in a stink bid at 195. You might be the only guy at 195 trying to buy these back and see if you get hit. You might get some at 195. Every time you buy 5 or 10 or 15, you're right, 5 or 10 or 15 of the new ones, perhaps at 205, 210, 220, 230. You put in stink offers and play this game of stink bid, buyback, stink offer, sell off, stink bid, buyback, stink offer, sell off, and do the rollover and see if it happens today. If the shares would like to continue to drop in price, that would be kind of nice. 33.05 is the last trade I see here, the low of 32.86. These hit 32.70, 32.60, 32.50 today. You could well buy your calls back in this 190, 95 range, 185, 195 range, and then rewrite new calls between 195 to 210, 220 as just an idea, as a suggestion. So keep that open, be open-minded about that, okay? It's exciting times. 33.01 on Gamestop, the Dow down 123 points. All righty. What else we got going on? Good morning from John Bickman. Kiwi says, take a look at ENPH, Phase Energy. Testy Donkey says, Uncle Bruce, remember when you were telling people about the VIP treatment you and Jen got at the Heathrow Airport? Queue skipping and being driven around? I do remember that. Well, today, the boss of the place was saying how people are faking injury so they can also get the treatment. People do listen to you, by the way. Yeah, I hear you. I'd rather be in that wagon than walking. I'll tell you right now. Kiwi, Royal Caribbean in profit. It's not April Fool's Day, is it? This isn't April Fool's, right? Flint Creek Soap Company, unexpected back child support from years ago suddenly received today. Oh my gosh. Hello, ATIP, almost below 150 average. Way to go, Flint Creek. Way to go. IR Aaron, think I should wait until after Apple earnings to buy new options for poor man covered calls. This is one of those two-edged swords. You want to get into the stock so you can write options on it. There's this dilemma. How do you play it? GameStop 32.91, Apple 155.40 down 138. Now, if tonight the earnings come out and the future is being discussed, the next quarter, and all kinds of analysts are going, "Whoa, it's worse than we thought at Apple." Maybe we go down to 151, 148, and maybe then you buy deep in the money calls around 120, 125 or lower at a lower price than what you pay now. And that's your entry point. You're looking for a drop off on the stock to get in cheap, partial recovery on the stock, and then start writing call options against your call option. I hear you, IR. It's an idea. It's definitely worth watching. You're going to keep an eye on it. Start targeting which contracts you're interested in. Take a look at contracts that are at least into next summer if you can. If you can go out 10 months, 12 months, look out there to see what's out there. And then just keep an eye on those prices of the calls you might be interested in buying, and keep an eye on that 90-10 rule to see if it'll work out. Right, Michael, I'm still trying to get out of my Apple 150s. Well, Michael, you never know. Tonight is earnings. If they expire tomorrow, you may have another $3-4 drop on this stock, and maybe otherwise, we all know rollovers are always available. Keep an eye on that. Interesting stuff. We've got the Pfizer down 170 to 49.85, Dow down 152. We got Tesla up only $4. We got SoFi down to 622, down 22 cents. And we have GameStop at 32.89. 32.89. Now, we may have hit a new low here. Let me double check on GameStop. Yeah, we have hit a new low. We're up 32.81, and we've already hit 32.78. So we're lower again on the GameStop. Nick, it's working for you. The good news for Nick is all these prices keep dropping on GameStop, which means the calls keep dropping in price, which means his buyback gets lower and lower and lower, which means he could theoretically do a rollover into August calls away from the September calls. Any of you into October GameStop calls, September GameStop calls, check your option chains for between late mid-August forward. See if you can move into August contracts for just as much or more money by buying back your calls on stink bids and then rolling into mid-August calls. And welcome back. This is cool bean stuff. 32.81 with a 32.78 low, it looks like, is what we've hit so far on the GameStop shares. 32.78 has been the low of the day now. We're down 95 at 32.83 from what I can see at the moment, down 95 cents. The Dow down 165, S&P down 25, NASDAQ down 116. It's almost a percentage point lower on NASDAQ, 2/3 of a point lower on S&P, and just over 0.5% lower on the Dow Jones. All righty. Interesting stuff. What's going on? Very, very good. Okay. Michael going, I know, I'm watching it, Bruce, I know. Trucker Tech, Uncle Bruce, I bought less than 11 last night. I can't wait. So excited. Also today, I wrote 10, 19th of August expiry, 31.25 strike GameStops, I think, with a $560 profit already so far. Giddy up. Welcome to heaven, man. 32.84 on GameStop. We go lower, you get richer. It's just that simple, and we're going lower. Correction, I'm up 680. Giddy up, John. Nice job. Nice job. Way to go. We are seeing the market only off 90 cents on GameStop. We were up $1 something yesterday. We can easily give up more than this. The Dow is only off 136 to 160. That's a nothing burger. We can give up a lot more than this because the numbers look terrible. The indicators don't look good. Thanks. You got it, Trucker Tech. Way to go. Way to pick up number 11. And all of you, I commend you. If you're able to pick up any of my classes, take the time to watch them. They're a couple hours long. Watch them a couple of times over the next week or so. Get a handle on how these contracts depreciate and just get eviscerated towards the end of their life, and take advantage of this. Bring some money into your account. You deserve it. You guys have to be paid for holding stock. It's time to get paid. 32.79 on GameStop. We're approaching that low again. 1 penny away. We're going lower. DQ. Okay, Moderna stink has been hit, says DQ. I sold them for $8.14. I bought them back just now for $2.06. Now get ready to write again. Get higher strike, 2-3 weeks out. Bring in another bunch of money. Bring in a bunch of cash. You earned it, buddy. Way to go. Michael saying, nice job. Gowdy, seeing nothing but green on my calls. Just trying to stay healthy and eat my greens. We got GameStop 32.80. Let's see the low of the day. Have we hit a new low today? Yep, 32.75. Right now, we're at 32.75. That's a new low. We're down $1.03 on GameStop. All those contracts are falling. Everybody's contracts are falling that have written them here. Down we go. The Dow off 173. We're getting lower. And we are getting red indicators here. We're down 180 on the Dow, down 27 on S&P, 123 on NASDAQ. We're only up 63 cents on oil. Oil is coming back again from a 250 gain, now only 63 cents. Michael saying, yesterday was a great day to write. Oh, was it a good day? Wavy gravy. Good morning. I see people are making tasty profits today on covered call contracts. Indeed, they are. Pfizer down 179, Dow Jones down 174, Matterport is off 18, Smart Rent up a dime, Tesla up only 270 now, SoFi still down 24 cents to 620, GameStop 32.82 at the moment, 32.82, now 32.70. We just saw 32.70 hit. That's a new low on the day. We just hit another new low, 32.70, now down $1.08 on GameStop. Down they go. DQ, I guess my Cisco 4350s might end up being a roll tomorrow. Cisco is sitting at 44.94. You're into 4350s. We're up 30 cents. Maybe. But you know what? It's okay. It's going to be just fine. The shares have been as high as 45.24, as low as 44.71. Right now, 44.91 on Cisco. 1.8 million traded, not heavy. Not a lot of support here, not a lot of buying action, and the Dow is coming off. So Cisco may yet dump 40, 50 cents today and bring you a lot closer. So DQ, keep your eyes on it as usual. You know what you're doing there. We're not afraid of the rollover. You know that. I know that. Roll into higher prices. Bring in more cash, man. You got to bring in cash, and you're doing it. Duncan, cheers. Michael, come on, Chicago, drop those contracts, 4 more cents. Let's go. Pfizer down 165 at 49.90. The Dow down 165. GameStop 32.76. Right now, down 102. The low of the day, 32.70 today on the GameStop. The volume here has been 723,000 shares. Not even 200,000 pre-split. We're 900,000. There we go. 900,000 shares. 225,000 have been traded in 45 minutes. Not good. No, that we're going lower. 3280, 3276 range right now. The Dow Jones down 137 at the moment, 0.43. All righty. Oh, we got a lot to watch here. Alberto, GameStop, August 19th expiry. 33 is 265. I am getting out of my conservative method and going for bigger profits. Gotcha. I gotcha, buddy. Yep. Writing this call. This is like writing a $10 call. Last week. Absolutely. Bringing in 265. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. 32.79 now on the GameStop, down 99 cents right at this moment in time. Man, oh man. We're down now 146, 147 on the Dow Jones at the moment, coming up to 1 hour 45 minutes on this show, and all kinds of options are dropping here. Pfizer options are falling. SoFi options are falling. Matterport's falling. GameStop's dropping. Apple down 138 on the stock. Those contracts are dropping. AMC now negative 1437, 1439. AMC's in the red. We've got Google down 121 to 112.38. We have HPQ down 13 cents now, 32.49 and falling. Cisco up 38 cents to 45.02. We got Twitter down 18 cents, Home Depot down 274. We've got Vanik down 250, IBM off 27, Microsoft holding a gain of 228. Time to write options on Microsoft. Goldman down 126, Facebook, Meta down 1268. Wow. Amazon down 199, 118.98. We're going lower on Amazon. Earnings come out tonight. The street does not like its chances of a good report. The Royal Caribbean is still up $1, but it was higher. It's 35.96. It got to 38.29. It's backed off a bit here on with Royal Caribbean. It's backed off a bit. JP Morgan down 118, Nvidia down $2, Disney down 50 cents, American Airlines down 57, Netflix down $6, and Moderna is down to 153.92, the low of 152.59, trying a little bounce. DQ is watching that like a hawk, I am sure. Well done, one and all. 163 on the Dow now, down 163, 32.72 on GameStop. The low of the day is now 32.70, and we're trading at 72. So we're down 106 right at the low of the day. Hybrid Dunket, plenty of time, Alberto. Gowdy, this is some rug burn there. There's some rug burn. Kiwi, it's 2:15 a.m. in Auckland. It's my bedtime, man. Alberto, Duncan, thanks. Now I have to follow Mike and Coyote for the SoFi calls. DQ, come on, Moderna, run to 200 now, says DQ. Now that I've got my options back, you can go up. It's fine with me. I'll write some contracts later. Oh, yes, 32.79 on GameStop right now. 32, the Dow down 153. Lots of volatility, lots of movement everywhere. Down 159 on the Dow. Interesting opinion. There's a chart showing S&P 500 now faces heavy resistance to more gains. U.S. stocks turn lower, erasing part of the spectacular post-Fed rally. Yeah. Okay. And the Best Buy stock is zigzagging. Investors and Wall Street are trying to digest the guidance cut. If folks are not walking into Best Buy and buying stuff, guess what? They're not buying Apple product. They're not buying Samsung product. They're not buying a bunch of stuff. They love to spend money at Best Buy. Best Buy is the adult toy store. They're backing off. That's not good. That is a sign of holding up cash, preserving cash, not buying toys. 32.74 on GameStop. We're coming in again. Another wave of selling is coming in. 32.70, 74, 79. The 70 is a low number, the low price. All right. Oh my gosh. What else is happening? Tesla only up 99 cents here, 8.25. Tesla's backing off. LL, hey, I'm number thumbs up 165. Thank you, LL. We have 204 thumbs ups right now. Thank you, everybody, for getting me over 200 here. This is appreciated. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, guys. Help us out. Get us over 200. If you want to let the market, you want to let everybody here know how long you've been a member of this channel, you can do that by going down below this chat area over here. And what you do is you hit the dollar sign down there, and you can post how long you've been a member of this channel. Let everybody know. I thank you for those of you who do that. I appreciate it. GameStop 32.80 to 32.90. There's an attempted rally going on. Don't know. 164 drop on the Dow right now. Down we go. DQ. I didn't think Best Buy wants to be known for selling adult toys. DQ, but they might do more business if they did, Bruce. They have a special room at the back, adult toys for adults only, What can I say? Best Buy, if they're backing off in sales, oh, that's bad news for Target. That's bad news for Costco. That's a sign of what Walmart is telling us about, that people are cutting back on non-essentials. They're just looking at essentials right now, which are skyrocketing in price. 32.73 on GameStop again. We just had another dip here. I don't know, kids. It's wacky. It's wild. It's wacky. We just hit a new low on GameStop, 32.69. We just hit a new low trade of the day. There it is. 109 is the dip now on GameStop. That's like $4.36. All those contracts are falling again, and time is shrinking away on this Friday's calls. They die tomorrow. Oh, my. 32.76 with a 32.69 low of the day on GameStop. Watching for that. Comcast stock heads for the worst slide since 2008 as earnings show broadband growth screeching to a halt. That's a shot across the bow for everything. That doesn't tell you about Amazon having problems. That right there confirms it. If the Comcast guys are telling us that their broadband growth is shrinking, is stopping, that means fewer people are going online. The growth rate on the online everything is backing up here. This is bad for Facebook, bad for Microsoft, bad for Apple. Because if you don't have the broadband growth, you don't have the device growth either. You don't need the devices if you're not growing the broadband numbers. It's all connected, kids. It's all connected. This is really disturbing. This is an announcement that is really not good. When it's coming down to the cable companies finding that people aren't signing up for internet. Hello, Houston, we got a problem here. It's not like they're cutting the cable bill and not watching cable channels. That's another division of Comcast. The broadband side of it is internet watching, internet usage, internet hours, and online purchases. This is a negative, a real serious negative. And I don't think that the GDP numbers get it. I don't think the GDP numbers can absorb this info in their antiquated measure of the U.S. economy. This is the new economy we're talking about, the high margin, lots of profit economy area of the economy we're talking about here. The Dow's down 184 now as we're backing up. NASDAQ stocks should be really nervous about that kind of a comment coming out of Comcast. Just giving you a heads up. I'm just trying to read it in plain English. Let's see here. Yeah, it's so odd. People so optimistic yesterday. Did something change? The news come out. As I said, anyone buying yesterday, you were nuts. And today, it's coming home to roost already. Waiting to buy more SoFi and GameStop, says Big No Supplier. My 100 Matterport are filled finally. Now I have to figure out how to write an option on first trade. Sean and Wendy. Hi, Uncle Bruce and Annie Jen. Great call last night again. I'm glad you came by for the primetime show last night. We had a good time with that. What's the old saying when your cable company's telling you there's a recession? There's a recession. That's right. They know. I never knew what my great-grandpa meant by that until now. I never knew what my great-grandma meant by that until now. The cable company says a recession is a recession. Let's see. Spire is the only green one right now. Smart Red up 7. It's green. SoFi down 33 now. GameStop at 32.78. Spire up 1.5, and Sextera up 4. Cisco up 38. Microsoft up 219. I'm looking at greens. Royal Caribbean is only up 80 cents now. Target only up 77. Costco only up $1.95. It's come off $3. Walmart up 36 cents. We got red coming in here, kids. Down 212 on the Dow now. 212 on the Dow. 28 on the S&P. 135 on NASDAQ. We're backing up here. Right now, we are backing up. 32.75 on GameStop. 32.69, I think, is the low of the day. Nope, 32.68. We're at 32.70. We just hit 32.68. We're going lower on GameStop again. More selling coming in, and the Dow is off 208, near its low of the day right now. Tesla down $6. 818, it's down $6. SoFi 612. SoFi contracts have got to be backing off. At GameStop 32.68, new low. We're at the low right now for the day on GameStop. Again, 32.66, another new low on GameStop. Tiff is saying to Coyote, yesterday people got drunk and went partying to forget reality. Today people are waking up with a hangover and something they regretted on their side. Who cares? Says Comcast broadband growth decline just means it's going to 5G. Old school cable is dead. Coyote, Tiff, exactly analogy I love to use. People don't want the party to end, but at some point the sun rises and you have to clean everything up. It might be the 5G, but don't forget the well-to-do have the new devices and get the 5G. The middle class and lower are stuck in that lower grade 4G, and that's where the growth has stopped, and that is a big chunk of the economy. Do not ignore that. Keep falling, says not my SoFi. DQ 11. I bought what stock yesterday? Sell, trade of shame. Oh, man. Pfizer down 123 at 50.32. We bottomed out on Pfizer at 49.10. And there were tremendous opportunities this morning to buy back contracts. And now, as Pfizer recovers, there will be tremendous opportunities to rewrite new contracts on Pfizer. Should be a fun day here. The Dow down 184. We got Tesla down $5. $5. SoFi down 33 cents to 611, and GameStop is at 32.72 or so. The low of the day, 32.66 right now on GameStop. Let's see here. What else? Coyote DQ, the digital equivalent of having a one-night stand and walking home alone at 7:46 a.m. the next morning, laughing out loud. Beach Boy, hi, Uncle Bruce. I'm late again, and for good reason this time, as I started the paperwork and ordered to switch to another broker platform over here. They are more user-friendly, and they are cheaper costs. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. This is good stuff. Tiff, DQ, the trade looked so attractive when I was drunk. Oh, my. It's not so attractive anymore. That girl isn't as pretty as she looked last night when I was loaded. What's with these women? Why do they look different the next day when you sober up? What was I thinking? And of course, she's looking at you going, oh, my God, no. Oh, my God,
She's
no.
Trying to chew her arm.
She's trying to chew her arm off right now. She's Oh no. Beer goggles for stocks, says Michael. DQ, I went out with the boys for happy hour and woke up this morning fully dressed, all the lights on, and with a margin call. What happened to me? What are they doing to me? I don't believe it. Oh my goodness. The Dow is off 156 as it tries little rallies, and they just aren't working. We're going lower. Tesla now 138 on the downside. SoFi 612. GameStop 32.82 to 83 on GameStop. Oh no, no. Richard Garland, the walk of shame. Trucker laughing out loud. DQ puts of coyote dates. Puts on coyote dates. Oh no. Yeah, chew your arm off. Don't wake her up. Pfizer down 111 at 50.44. The Dow down 166 now. Smart Rent still green, but only 6 cents. Matterport down 21. Tesla down 388. SoFi down 33. GameStop dropping again, 32.75. Here we go. Another wave. Another wave. Coyote DQ, going to scream at Fidelity. Customer service on the phone that someone spiked their Bud Light. Beach Boy DQ, that's funny. Coyote DQ, this is too funny. We've got GameStop now 32.75 to 78 right now. We're within a dime of the low of the day. Within that range. SoFi 610. Tesla down 450 at 819.95. Smart Rent still up 6 cents, but only 6 cents. Matterport down 22. The Dow down 178. Pfizer down 113 right now. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What can I say? Coyote, that my one night stand has lasted 5 years, and she is snoring in bed at the moment. Tiff DQ, do you know how the story of the hedge fund employee who bought oil in the name of his company when he was drunk after several days of partying? Check it out. If not, it's great. There's a great story about that. I hadn't heard. Down 183 on the Dow. We've been on the air for 2 hours, 1 minute, 28 seconds. I have to get going. Jen and I got to have breakfast downstairs. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. This is the beginning of an interesting run here. Let's see how it goes. Keep your eyes on your stocks and your options. Keep your eyes open on GameStop, especially those of you who have done rollovers. Those of you who've done GameStop rollovers into September and October or later, keep your eye on the option chain to see if you can buy back your calls for a lot less money and roll into August calls a little closer to the money, maybe even buy back your calls for a stink bid and write new calls at a lower strike price closer into time for even more money than you just paid to buy back your calls. That's the ultimate win. Increase your cash balance in your account and bring the time in a lot from September, October to August on these calls. Let's keep an eye on that. Keep working on it. Check your option chains, all kinds of possibilities, and stink bid your way out of them and stink offer your way into them and take in the cash. They're handing it to you. You might as well grab it. 32.94 to 98 on GameStop. This will fluctuate, but it could go lower yet. Keep your eye on that. We'll see what's going on. Coyote 610 on SoFi. Sell my house number Marlboro. I have an HBQ call that I wrote for 84 cents, $33 strike price. It's expiring on the 12th of August. How low of a stink bid should I put in? 44, 41? What do you think? HPQ is right now at 32.36. So you wrote a 33. You're out of the money because the stock has dropped today and is now dropping further. I would sit back and I wouldn't even go with a 40-odd cent bid right here. I would be looking at maybe 31 to 33 cents and go way down there and just see if it comes to you. Because if these shares drop 15, 20 cents from here on a dip, you'll get hit and you'll get taken out, and that would be perfect. So you're making money, and you're going to get another dime at least, or more per contract. So yeah, let it keep coming. You're out of the money and they're falling. So let's see what happens. Spare, could it be that I have to email my broker? Found something in case of exercising an option. They have to send one of them with a symbol, strike, and expiry date. Spare, you've got to figure out how to work your platform. There might be videos on how to use it. You got to get that figured out. DQ, Twitter, huge green candle on Twitter. There you go. All right, folks, it's at 40.21, up 34 cents. That is Twitter right now. HPQ down 23 to 32.39. Google down 111. We've got Apple down 187 to 154.92. We're under 155 now. Gamestop 33.12, trying a little rally here. Don't know how much gas it's going to have. SoFi 614. The Dow down 127. Pfizer down 105 to 50.50. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Appreciate you all being here. Options Nomad. Something wild happened this morning with Pfizer. We ended up having 10 contracts get executed early at 48 and 49. It was so unexpected. We called Fidelity to confirm. No worries. You got taken out, and now you can write again. You can just buy them back and write 51s, 52s. Let the stock recover and take it. They want to exercise you and give you the premium plus that price. You take it and now pick up your stock and write again, and away we go. That is grand. That is a weird one, I got to admit. Yeah, hours of videos with lots of info. I guess tomorrow will be study day. Says Splair. By the way, have a nice day to everybody. Beach Boy, have a good breakfast, AJ and Uncle B. We're heading out, and we'll see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon for the final hour. We'll keep an eye on these markets while we're doing our thing, and make money, everybody. Just make a bunch of money. Okay, we'll see you soon. Take care.